Okay, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the final game of the Halloween Cup. Two amazing players here, Jesulin and Noggano. Noggano was the winner of the 2v2 clan clash that we had a couple of weeks ago. So, I mean, this guy is already sitting on a pedestal, and he's done really, really well in this tournament. He knocked out the #1 seed in the semi-finals. That was Loveness with some exceptional USF play. And, you know, he's come up against Jesulin now, which is, you know, it's been a long day. He's playing against Jesulin, and, you know, the first game didn't go too well for him. But this is the second game. Sorry, this is the third game now. I didn't change the overlay, did I? I'm very aware of that.
It's fine. I think we should power through, or would you rather change it?
Well, do you know what? I can stop very quickly and do this. We want to put it up there because it's the finals. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I will now talk about the fact that Noggano got to this point by getting through Loveness, who was #1 seed, and everybody would expect to be #1 seed because he's a force of nature. He's the German carrot-eating, tournament-winning beast. Noggano didn't care about that. Loveness did go OKW on Arnhem checkpoint, and Noggano went Rifle Company, just rolled straight through him, and then pushed him back in the second game, and now he's here, facing up against the Spanish Maestro, and we do see Soviets chosen with armoured assault tactics, late game super doctrine chosen. Very interesting.
Yeah, do you know what's surprising? Jesulin is taking Paula's own winning strategy from the earlier games, which he did manage to beat, and he's probably going to replicate it. We're seeing the same build order come out, 3 cons first. I mean, I'm hoping, you know, you normally see with Armoured Assault, you normally see up to 6 cons come out, but, you know, as we saw from Paula earlier, the tier 1 came out very, very early into an M3, which didn't really work, but Paula did very, very well to you know, claw back that game. It's a shame obviously he didn't
Paula
win.
did as Paula does, and that's play very, very well without winning.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Jesulin has picked up a few tricks from him, but that is going to mean he's going to have some kind of contingency strategy for the early to mid game. How's he going to get to this late game super doctrine? He's going to have to at least build tier 2 with perhaps a Maxim, but especially a conscript spam does not lend itself well to this doctrine, in my opinion.
I don't actually think he's going to struggle that much here. I mean, as we've seen with Noggano and Jesulin in the previous games of this final, the austere player tends to sit back in their base, and it actually gives all of those resources to the allies on the south side and the right hand side of the map. So the fuel is actually going to be there for Jesulin from the start. Depending on how he techs, he's probably going to go straight into tier 2 and then rely on the support weapons for most of the game. But I mean, you know, he's going to have that fuel. There's very little chance of Noggano actually trying to reach out for that fuel point, you know, any point past 15-16 minutes of the game. And yeah, so, you know, we will actually probably see the tier 4 go up from Jesulin again with the Katusha. Maybe if we see the Katusha come out this time. Katusha 1T3485.
Oh, you mean the silhouette maker Katusha? I'm not a fan of that thing, and it's good for 2v2, but in 1v1 I've never seen it. Well, I've rarely seen it be a force to be contended with, I must say. The snipers now come out for Noggano. What were you expecting after 2 grands otherwise?
Yeah, the sniper play in the last game was just top-notch from Noggano. They did have a couple of moments where they should have died and didn't. But I mean, to have both of them on, like, you know, taking 2,000 manpower off of Jesulin in total, they're absolutely, you just can't even live without them. It's crazy.
As soon as we hit 100, that's 2,800 manpower taken. That was in the G1. We got close to that in G2. 2 snipers needs to be counted, and thankfully Jesulin has wisely gone with Soviets on longer sky. I don't know why, but these 2 top players didn't do that before.
Look at the aggression here from Jesulin. I mean, with the 6-man squad, so he doesn't fear the sniper that much. He's going to go for the decap straight away. This is going to be crippling to Noggano, who really wants to get something like the 2-2-2 out on the field as quick as possible. And at the same time, he's sending over units to decap the fuel as well, which is just like further insult into losing the territory and the strategic. So very, very good early game, like we saw before from Jesulin. Did he say that the names are on the wrong side? Damn it, I even changed them round. Sorry guys, I'm sure you can tell by the names on the bottom which guy is which.
As long as the scores are in the right place, mate. It's the
scores
decider.
are the same, so
yeah, exactly.
My apologies for that, guys. Basically, it's 1-1, whatever way you look at it, so you can read the rest of the information from the screen. But yeah, I mean, 4 cons on the field. It's very, very strong. He's got a lot of map control coming. Noggano's going to struggle. You know, he's only got the 4-man squads himself with the sniper. I'm worried Jesulin has actually held back from getting that 5th squad out, possibly because he wants to constantly keep his units reinforced and healed. So we might expect to see a little bit of a manpower float from him coming in.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Play at the moment.
Absolutely. In terms of Noggano, I fully expect we'll just see Velmat Longriskaya play. So it's more about how Jesulin plays, in my opinion. We can't expect Noggano to not do what he's going to do, because he's going to do what he's going to do, and that's play like a Wehrmacht player on Longriskaya. It's about how Jesulin counters that, in my opinion.
Well, Noggano has held it quite well. Jesulin is forced to retreat back. Very, very quick tier 3 coming up here. I do like this. Are we going to see the quad cal come in again? Could be a very, very good unit. It would deal with the 222 quite well. I do expect the 222 will come out from Noggano as well. It's something that he's built routinely when playing this faction so far. It's one of those things. It's between that or the T70 really. The T70 probably doesn't hold as much weight in my opinion because it doesn't have the suppression added to it, which is quite good at dealing with Grens and negating that Faust. But interesting. We could also see the Su-76 come out, which is equally as good at barraging.
Yeah, the barrage it isn't as good as it was once, but it's a multifaceted unit.
It's still potent, and also those kind of units like the Su-76 do actually last quite well into the late game. They are good contenders for the Panzer IV. Maybe he's expecting that Command Panzer IV is going to come out again, and if it does, then the Su-76s will actually be able to counter that. Whereas in the last game, the Stuarts, they didn't really just provide that. So here we go, the M5, I believe it was, wasn't it? And he's
the M5 came out. It was a force to be contended with. You hit that nail on the head when you called that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think this is the sensible choice here. He's gone for heavy manpower anyway. He could do with the on-field reinforcements. The quad cal is going to be instantly upgraded anyway. Look at Jesulin just bouncing in and out of the house there, avoiding the flamethrower, waiting for the quad cal to upgrade. There is no AT on the field right now from Noggano. He is forced for a full retreat, and Jesulin is straight on to capping the strategic point once again. I mean, this is really, really good from Jesulin. The pressure is on right now. This is the game that Jesulin needs to
Jesus
perform.
Christ, we could be seeing a sub 10-minute game for Jesulin if this works out. We've got the quad mount just wrecking on troops. Has it already killed the sniper?
I think, yeah, the sniper's dead, so it's already a good pickup from Jesulin. He needs to work on these other units right now. The manpower damage is pretty heavy, but the Faust is going to get in from these grenadiers quite easily. It is a kind of waste of the quad cal in that respect. He may have been able to get out of that situation, but he's at least done a lot of manpower damage to Noggano.
Absolutely, and in terms of what else Jesulin has in the field, he's now building a T70. So let's think about it this way. The M5 came on the field, he spent 120 munitions to kill a sniper and to wipe an MG and to take several grenadier models down. Not a bad trade overall, you'd have to say.
No, it's really good. I mean, let's bear in mind, Tier 2 hasn't gone up for the Wehrmacht yet, so there's no chance of an AT gun coming out. The manpower is being stacked by Noggano for reasons that I don't actually understand why. Maybe he's going to go for the Puma. I'm not sure about that. He may be forced into it at this rate when the T70 comes out. But it's a strange one. He's going for another sniper of all things.
I'll tell you what, that's the right decision. The confidence and the conviction in your own play to straight away build the second sniper after your first one dies to a mad arse M5 quad mount rush is good. I'm basing this entirely off what DevM does. I mean, DevM wins tournaments, and that's what he does. As soon as one sniper dies, he builds another, because he knows those things rack up kills and they dominate the meta when it comes to Wehrmacht-based games.
Yeah, it is a sensible choice, but I mean, he has no AT on the field whatsoever, and the sniper is a bigger manpower drain as well. There's nothing at all that he can do about this T70 if it just sits at range. And if Jesulin picks up on that, that is a big mistake. I think one of the problems is that maybe he could, get another sniper again. I totally agree with that, but at least have AT out on the field.
Pack first, you bang on. Yeah, pack first, then sniper. it's good to go a second sniper, but as you said, not after yet.
Yeah, not straight away. I mean, look at the map control he's lost by doing this as well. You know, I fully expect to see that the AT gun is going to be on the build order now, but you know, he's going to have to reinforce his squads here, and he can't do that. You know, he's going to have to decide now: do I reinforce my squads or do I get the AT gun out? And this is just, you know, whilst he's making these decisions, it's time that his units are spending inside the base and not on the field fighting. So, you know, really he needs the AT gun to come out right now. He does make that decision. It is the right decision. You know, because of this sniper play, he's pending his base. Jesulin is bringing
the pack's
it
coming
this
on
game.
the field. All the while, he's been absolutely penned into his base. He can field a few of these grenadiers, but all that's going to happen is a T-70 is going to rock in and, you know, take a few models down and make the manpower situation even worse.
Yeah.
So now the pack's fine. Sorry,
one of the other great things as well that Jesulin's doing, he's triple capping. So we're going down a VP per second at the moment. We're coming up to the point where we've only got 4 or 5 minutes left of the game at this rate. So you know, Jesulin's laying mines. He's doing the exact right thing. He's going to keep that triple drain on like as much as possible. And the one thing that players have had, you know, this is the thing with long res, is that it's easier for Axis to get into the late game. So by doing this, by putting this insane pressure on the VPs, Jesulin could have this game over in you know, like 6 or 7 minutes. And even if it does step into the late game, he's going to have a much better chance of just finalizing and securing those VPs on the end of it. Noggano's just taking too much manpower hit at the moment. It's kind of sad to see a second T-70s on the field now as well.
Jesus Christ, he's pushing his advantage. He knows his opponent has no fuel. As you quite rightly mentioned, Soviets have the benefit of mines without having to use an M20 to lay them, which it maddens me. Why did we not see Soviets versus Ver in the first 2 games? Why did they go USF? What was the point?
I'm not sure. I mean, a lot of the players are going USF. I guess you would have to talk to them to actually find out their personal opinions on why, but it would make more sense for me at any rate to at least go for the Soviets. They've at least got indirect fire options, better off-map abilities. Look at this, nothing Noggano can do about the T-70s coming in there. Jesulin's going to try and get this T-70 out, but it does get Fausted. Still, absolutely nothing that they can do. Look, Jesulin's just confident enough to just sit there with them engine damaged.
They've eaten 2 Fausts now at least, so if a Grenadier were to come in and take the pack, they could finish one of them off, but I don't think that's going to happen at this rate. You've got the conscripts watching over that pack.
He's actually used the repair abilities on it as well, have you seen?
Cocky bastard.
Yeah, so he actually got the repairs on the critical.
What happened to Jesulin? In G1, I'm going to say it, Jesulin was a pussy. He spent way too long killing Noggano as Wehrmacht. It took him 55 minutes. In this game, however, he's just been a beast. He's gone hell for leather. He's gone ultra aggressive all of a sudden, and something's come out of him. The evolved form of Jesulin. It's been awesome to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Noggano has been forced into mobile defense now, which is good. I had a feeling that this would happen to him. You know, the mid game has been so strong from Jesulin. Look at the VPs now. You know, we have 4 minutes of game left in a triple cap at the moment, so it's just absolutely insane. The Puma was really the best and the fastest thing that he could put on right now, but for 2 T-70s, you know, the Puma isn't a safe choice by any means. He's getting in quite close with it. You know, it could go either way. On the flip side, if he gets both of the T-70s down with this Puma, then he's in a great position. Abandoned but not destroyed. He can't keep the Puma here for fear of the anti-tank grenade, which Jesulin, he does have available. Oh, this could be a big loss for Noggano sticking in that.
Oh, that is RNG personified.
Oh man, and technically both T-70s do make it out of that engagement because one's abandoned, it can just be hopped into again. So Noggano came off worse for wear in that, and look at that, he spent all of his fuel on that Puma. There's no chance for him to tech up. It's...
Think about it. 3 minutes ago he was in his base, like literally in his base with 1 territory sector. So I know that Jesulin's just going to come back bigger and badder than ever, but at least he pushed him out of his sector for a while.
Yeah, this is just crazy on all fronts. Jesulin has really brought it out in game 3. I think maybe part of Jesulin's strategy was maybe just like wearing his opponent down with long games in the first and second games, you know, and then to just play like this in game 3 after such long games in 1 and 2 is just crazy. And
as we said, he's got that 60 hours in auto match in the past 2 weeks. This guy just has Endurance up the arse is awesome. He's got another T70 out. He's still got the abandoned T70 to reman as well. That'll be 3 T70s shortly. He's got the Su-76 building just in case Noggano just happens to get enough for another Puma. Jesulin's going to be rolling him very shortly, surely.
Yeah, we're coming in line for a base raping. To be honest, it's not far off the cards, to be honest, and. Look at this, Jesulin getting in the building there to get around the line of sight of the MG. Absolutely beautiful. He's got plenty of windows to fire out of on that side as well, so it's a very, very good building to take hold of as the approaching faction on that side. Noggano just, it seems like he hasn't got any ideas at the moment on how to get around this. You know, there's mines going down everywhere from Jesulin. There's a senseless manpower wasting every time Noggano decides to step anywhere. And I'm super impressed. I love this. This is what we wanted to see in the first 2 games, and we're seeing it now in game 3.
It really is. And to be honest, I know Soviets are good, and I know Jesulin's been incredibly aggressive, but 1 tower, 1 snare, and a pack. A few things that could go Nagano's way, and we could be seeing more of a struggle here. It's going to have to happen quickly, but it could happen.
Yeah, I agree. A good teller can change the course of any game, really, but you know, has Noggano really got the munitions, to do that? I don't think he's really had any for the game. So the Su-76 now hitting only 80 guns, so it's going to start putting a lot of pressure on that. Jesulin is all over Noggano. Noggano just can't catch a breath. Every time he sets up somewhere, some kind of indirect fire is coming down on him, or some kind of flank. You know, forced to retreat the MG there as well. The T-70 is coming back in. You know, whilst there's no AT gun present to defend, it's just crazy. Jesulin is all over this guy.
He is all over him, absolutely, but he does have a large contingency of units. He still has his 3 Grenadiers, 1 Pioneer, a Sniper with an increasing amount of kills. The ill-fated Sniper he definitely shouldn't have built at that time. I fully agree with that now. The MG and 2 packs. So it's not like he's lacking in terms of material. He's lacking in terms of VPs, it must be said, 150.
Yeah, I mean, this is difficult. You know, Noggano needs time right now to get hold of his resources and then build up. He's not got enough to actually push out into the mid yet. You know, Jesulin is building another T-70, so it suggests that he's just going to continuously put this pressure on and drain the VPs as his main objective, which is a perfectly viable way to play. If he can just get the triple cap off, you know, this game is going to be over very, very quickly.
Do you know one thing Jesulin's forgotten?
What's that?
His abandoned T-70. It's
he still hasn't spotted that. I mean,
it'd be so funny if Noggano somehow gets back into this and then finds it. I'd love that. I'd pay money to see that, in fact. Imagine.
I wonder if they could read that in game.
Probably somehow watch chat and you've just said to Jesulin, pick up your T-70, and he does, and he wins.
Yeah, that would be quite funny, actually. It's probably something that exists as well, knowing some of the other bugs
right,
that are present. Yeah.
The enemy is taking our territory.
3 T-70s, that doesn't count the one that was abandoned, that's 3 newly built T-70s, and they are preparing for, as Skulmus quite rightly said, a base raid.
Yeah, and here we go, the Puma's been invested again, so no tech up at all whatsoever here. I mean, 3 T-70s could actually probably get in and deal with that Puma pretty easily. You know, Noggano's going to have to put a lot of focus onto microing that as well. You know, this is very, very difficult. We've got 2 AT guns on the field, which is nice to see, but you know, Jesulin very, very comfortable right now. The infantry just cannot get anywhere that they need outside of the base. And the VP ticker is just very, very steadily going down. We've probably got, how much longer left of this game if we see the VPs go down?
It won't last to half an hour at this rate if...
it's 4 minutes at this rate.
Dear God, yeah.
Now this is where the Su-76 comes in handy a lot. You know, it's able to deal with countering the Puma quite effectively, and the T-70s can just do those nice little pop-off shots and lure it in as well. So
twice, but you are right.
Yeah, no, in theory, everything is in theory in this game.
Especially when it comes to this game. That's what makes it so fun. You're casting StarCraft 2, you could take down the units and mathematically work out who's going to win every time based on where the units are at that particular point in time, you know, not taking into account micro, of course. But in Company Heroes 2, anything can happen.
Yeah, it is, and unpredictability equals replayability. So you know, it's a massive factor in the game that does need to stay there. You know, they try and reduce as many of the kind of unfair factors as possible, which is, you know, totally agreeable. But you know,
It's still I've got a mind just one second.
yeah, a lot of the RNG is absolutely fine. And
No, it's a good mechanic. It makes it like poker. It's got a lot of strategy involved, but a lot of unpredictability involved, and that actually makes it more exciting.
Fresh Panzer Grenadiers.
1 second, I'm just going to hold the camera here.
Okay, we've got the Puma darting around south. It could pick up against this T-70 light tank. All the while, we've got the Zis raining fire on the Grenadiers, trying to cap the centre. Noggano has got to push now for the victory points. He is on 100 remaining.
Well, he has managed to get that one in the centre. I mean, again, Jesulin always goes very, very viciously into this kind of light vehicle strategy, and I'm just wondering, you know, he had such an advantage in terms of his fuel and stuff in the early game. Why not tech up to tier 4? You know, you've got a Doctrine that is, you know, got T-3485s in. You know, these things are absolutely amazing. You know, I don't understand why we didn't see one of those pop out early, because it would have been just as effective as these T-70s. You know, the problem with the T-70s is that one mine and they're out of the game. T-3485 can actually handle
Absolutely. And to be honest, the passage of play where they are, the T-70s working together, could be so dominant is pretty much the sun is setting on it now. It's 20 minutes in, there's 2 packs out, there's a Puma out, there's Shreks upgraded on the Panzer Grenadiers, and as I possibly alluded to, Noggano very slowly could be creeping back into this thing.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go, you know. I mean, it's not long before Jesulin's going to be able to rock out the IS-2, which is, as we've seen in some previous games, a force of its own to contend with. You know, if he has still got the 3 T-70s and the SU-76 when that IS-2 comes out, which I expect is what Jesulin is ultimately aiming for, I don't really see what Noggano's going to be able to do, you know, with the the Sturmovik close air thingy.
Yes, the planes that come from the sky and kill
the plane that comes from the sky, which is coming in right now. There you go. You see these Star Wars laser beams coming in. I mean, these, you know, there's a lot for Noggano to deal with here, and he hasn't had the fuel to tech up and prepare for this whatsoever. So, you know,
to be honest, I think we'll both agree that we want allies to win one on Longritskaya.
Yeah.
Just to prove our theory that Soviets should have been picked from the get-go, that would be nice. But yeah, Noggano's not in a bad position. I know he's got 90 victory points. If it wasn't 90 victory points, we'd probably tip him to win. But as he is on 90 victory points, the Soviets, as soon as the IS-2 will roll on the field, can just, you know, cement their legacy.
Yeah, and Noggano is trying to find a way to get out of this, and he's just not quite found the target yet.
No, he's had his opportunities, dude, and he's pushing onto the field now with a decent cabal of units, but a lot of those units are under suppression from the Sturmovik, seemingly. God shot in on the T-70. Oh! Out of control on the T-70 from the pack, and again, the mana pack shot just makes it explode just for funsies.
Well, I mean, Noggano's got a lot of manpower on the field. It's certainly possible for him to do this. I mean, Jesulin is playing strangely. I mean, this is the final games. He's had the mid game. Do you know what I mean? Jesulin's just kind of refusing to leave the mid game, which I find a bit bizarre. He could easily go up with a Katusha or something like that right now, and kind of seal this straight off. You know, Katusha right now would be amazing to keep taking that mid VP. There's nothing else that Noggano would be able to do with the SU-76 and that defending it. So it's kind of weird. Have we actually seen any tech yet from him?
Not particularly. He's stuck in tier 3. In fact, both players seem to be floundering around there. As you say, the Katusha could be especially good for theoretical Katusha, because he could just rock up really close. There's not much deterrent. Saying that, there's Panzer Shreks come in against the T-76. SU-76
We
rather.
have an isolated sector.
Yeah, Noggano's pushing in quite deep with them. Well, that's paid off. Noggano's doing very, very well to contain
Enemy
Jesulin here.
forces are capturing our supplies.
Jesulin has just slowed down a little bit now, and it's... yeah, I don't really know. Well, this is it. Is he waiting for the IS-2? Is that just hit the field now? Yeah, it is. So it's a very pale-looking camouflage to have. Nothing stands out in summer than painted-on white and black trees. It's,
Oh my
Very,
god,
very
it
strange
reminds
stuff.
me of that orc from The Hobbit, the one that's painted in white and really
oh, the one
scary.
that looks like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, him! I wish I knew his name, because that's what I'd be calling the IS-2 right now. It must be said, creator, whoever did these ambient settings for Longres and the other maps, it's had very strange effects on some skins.
Look at this, Jesulin has gone in so deep with the IS-2 there. He's going right round the back lines of Noggano, who is completely thrown by this situation. They do manage, it looks like he's going to get the T-70 out, but is he going to be able to deal with the Puma? The Sturmovik dealing huge amounts of manpower damage to all of the rifles and grenadiers on the field just there. One more shot from the IS-2, and this could end it for Noggano. It manages to get away. Is the Stuka going to be able to finish it off? No, apparently not, but look at this. Jesulin might be able to get the triple cap off again. And this would be a massive, massive drawback for Noggano right now.
Tell us, man, Tallow Mines, he could have won the game with a single Tallow Mine if the IS-2 had gone over it, but unfortunately for Noggano, the IS-2, not the IS-2, but the Sturmovik did most of the damage, let's face it. He actually got a main gun destroyed crew. I swear they patched them out of the game. Instead of dying, its main gun exploded, which is unfortunate for Jesulin. Elsewhere, as Stormus alluded to, the western victory point is currently being capped, which could lead to a triple cap situation with only 64 remaining, 482 for Jesulin. This could be a very authoritative victory, as authoritative as decider game victories go. Oh my god, there we go, I believe that was a T-70 goes down to the pack fire.
Yeah, Noggano's got very good positioning of the pack guns actually. He's doing a very, very good job of picking those off with the one that he's got. How many kills is it on actually? 2 vehicles and 1 infantry. So, I mean, yeah, he's doing very, very good. And the thing is, Jesulin is just putting a lot of pressure on the left right now. He knows that if he puts that pressure on the left, Noggano is going to be forced to retake the left every time before he can actually stretch out to the middle. With the IS-2 defending the middle as well, there's no way that he's going to take his eyes off the left. The VPs are going to go down in this situation, and you know, there's nothing really in Noggano's commander that's prepared for this eventuality. You know.
Absolutely, I fully agree with that. It's a very unfortunate predicament for Noggano. He's played Wehrmacht and he's not.
I don't know if he's going to make that, to be honest. Oh no, yes. The Puma goes down. And the SU-76 as well. Not a good trade considering it's his only anti-tank weapon. The IS-2 has got a very, very good opportunity right now to roll in. And,
of course, his only armoured anti-tank weapon. He does have the 2 packs, but as you said, it's his only mobile vehicle, and it's just died.
Well, 32 VPs to 482 for Jesulin. He's in a very, very good position right now. It does look like this is going to be it. I mean, well played to Jesulin so far. He's done really good. Playing as a not the USF was great from the start.
Masterstroke, mate. Yeah, masterstroke. Who would have thought it? Faction that has counters to Wehrmacht to Longerskaya is better than one that doesn't.
Well, Noggano's going to be feeling the pressure now. He's just got the 25 VP marker laid down on him. There is nothing that frustrates you more than, you know, having to try and retake 2 points on 20 VPs and the points are already filled with infantry. He's trying to do it with the grenadiers in the mid. He's trying to do it with with the engineers in the mid and grenadiers on the left. He's no way he's going to make it out in time. All Jesulin needs to do now is sit on this mid VP, and he's easily secured himself another tournament win. How many tournaments does Jesulin have under his belt now?
I believe he's now reached 76. Oh. No, actually, I know a way to tell you all this. You carry on talking, my friend. He actually
you can
commented to me once.
You can actually get it, can you? So.
Oh yeah, I can get this crap. Don't you worry, my friend. But yeah, this guy has been a force of nature in the coming years tournament. If you did, oh my god, there you go.
Well, GG. Round 3 goes to Jesulin. Well played, well deserved. Jesulin, I think he cleared every single maybe lost just a couple of games on the whole run up through this. We didn't get to see that Loveness Jesulin rivalry that came out. Thanks to Noggano, pummeling Loveness in that first game, but Jesulin, really stuck it out, played very, very carefully in game 1, carefully in game 2, maybe too carefully actually, because he didn't actually manage to overcome with USF, but when he got to try again with Soviets, absolutely brought his A game over here, and just beautiful strategies all around. Well played,
and your
Jesulin.
reigning, defending Company of Heroes 2 overall pound for pound tournament champion. He was 5th, 6th placed in Saturday Night Season 5. First Alienware Arena Cup EU, first $1,000 Co2.org 1v1 tournament champion, 1v1 StarCross Cup 2, Reddit tournament 1v1 tournament 3 champion, but most of all, Stormers, he has won 1-for-1 Esports Halloween Cup. How do you think this guy feels?
Well, yeah. I imagine he probably feels very good. He's just won himself 2 commanders that were released on the 29th that are currently free to play anyway. So he's going to get those 2 for free when that ends. And yeah, I mean, what can I say? The finals. The finals were a bit slow for me. These guys, they clearly wanted to take the title. I'm really happy that Jesulin, did what he did in that last game. One thing I just want to say as well, thank you Jesulin for showcasing the Stuart and the T70, these intense strategies built up of just light vehicles, and they were just microed so perfectly. Some of the Stuart micro, in those games against Paula, was just insane. Some of the best micro that I've seen on that. So anyway, I'm going to end this by going into the outro, and I'll see you in the lobby in just a second.